my biggest dream ever is to mine asteroids. You know, if I could send a robot up, you know, if I could get in a spaceship like I'm playing Eve and, you know, stare at an asteroid and shoot lasers at it and collect the metal that, you know, you can coagulate with molten lasers, melting the metal down in space, or some crazy stuff like that using magnets or who knows what. But that's like my ultimate dream. If I could be born in like, you know, 1,000 years from now, God, that would be great. So I could mine asteroids for real. But I don't think, you know, with the people in charge right now in America, you know, with, you know, super expensive. I don't know what the stats are in a starship, you know, blowing up over the Caribbean, you know, once every 3 or 4 months. You know, I don't know if we're gonna get to Mars, you guys. Like, I don't know if it's worth it. Simply because I think the humans that are going to arrive on Mars are going to be debilitated by the loss of gravity and, well, the rigmarole of reasons that we're finding out. You know, sitting in space in that radiation for a long period of time isn't really good for humans, believe it or not. So until we get serious about, you know, blowing nukes up in space and using those to project spaceships to other planets or even farther, you know, I just don't think people like Elon Musk are going to cut it. That's just my opinion. You know, what do I know? Anyway, that's total sidetrack. So, you know, I suffice said, okay, I'm not going to mine asteroids, but laser scanning things and building 3D models, or, you know, measuring things down to sub-millimeter scale, you know, I can deal with that. That's pretty damn cool still. You know, I'm happy with that. So, you know, I set myself on a trajectory to do that. I was currently in the wine business out here. Wine is really big. I'm literally driving by vineyards right now. I'm sure you can see out the window. So I used to sell wine. So I've been a salesman by trade almost my entire life. Been a big video gamer. Been a big computer guy. Started working on cars in 2017. Have a couple project cars that I build on and I fiddle with. Mostly ruin. Really not making huge improvements. Really just, you know, scope creep is real. So beware. But really, I think what happened was that I just fell into this job, you know, in where I lived, which happened to be my dream job. I found a job where I could do quality assurance and I could scan things, and, you know, I felt it was a local company. There's only one location. They've been in, you know, the area where I live in Mendocino for, you know, a long time, over 30 years, and you know, I said, what the heck? I could dedicate my life to a place like this. I could become, you know, there's a lot of people that work there that have been there 30 plus years. Really cool people. Absolutely nothing bad to say